Fashion. Beyond the runways, meet today's influential fashion designers that set the trends. Fashion designer Deborah Lindquist. Deborah creates vintage corsets that are ultra-feminine. Her unique style has made her a powerhouse in today's celebrity-obsessed age and just as influential as the people she dresses.
Pussycat Dolls, I did some costumes for them when they were doing their big tour at the Roxy.
The Pussycat Dolls celebrities are symbols of heterosexual idols currently defining what is sexy.
I'm certainly influenced by trends. What I'm really truly interested in, what's in my heart, is making people look and feel beautiful. They call me the sexy eco-designer. It's not me personally, it's my clothes. But I do make clothing that's a little bit more cutting edge. I really love using recycled materials and vintage fabrics in my designs, kimono fabrics, sari fabrics, silk scarves, and the cashmere, of course, is my #1 recycled material. The challenge has been for people to understand that you can buy a sweater from me, but it's going to be slightly different than the next sweater. So initially I would get stores calling me up saying, I don't understand why the dye lots are so different in these sweaters. And I had to explain, well, they're all different sweaters. They're recycled. So I decided to call them reincarnated. I thought, well, that's a better word, and I want people to know that it came from somebody else who wore it at some point, and it's not a negative thing. But I think that the ultimate consumer really enjoys that part of it, because then you can actually wear something that you don't see walking down the street on many, many people. I've dressed people like Gwen Stefani, Keisha Cole, Pink. I met Sharon Stone recently, and she wore my sweater out when she was taking her baby out. And then Hayden Panettiere from the TV show Heroes. Well, of course, Paris Hilton has some sweaters, and her dogs do too. In addition to the recycled materials, I use other eco fabrics like hemp and hemp blends. I like using organically grown cotton and other fabrics that are grown without pesticides because I think it's very important to take pesticide out of our environment. It's very toxic to human beings and living things. My family, we were farmers for many, many years. And, so I know all about crop rotations and certainly about pesticides. I really love hemp because hemp is naturally pest resistant and even used as a rotation crop to plant another crop the following year, corn or soybeans or whatever it is that they might rotate with that crop. That crop automatically becomes somewhat pest resistant just by the hemp being in the soil. I also use some soy and bamboo, and I'm looking for other fabrics all the time to use. I recently found some piece silk. In the processing of the silk, they allow the silkworms to manifest into moths. So they allow them to go through their metamorphosis, and so no living thing is injured in making silk. I think that there's more variety now than there was when I started, and I think that's because of the demand, for one thing. I think the consumer is really more interested in buying something that's eco-conscious. Also, when bigger companies get involved, like some of the bigger jean companies or the bigger t-shirt companies, and generate a bigger interest in that category of fashion, then I think it's really important too because it starts to filter into middle America and people who aren't necessarily buying high fashion, but they're starting to buy organic cotton jeans. You get them hooked on that, and then you can get them hooked on red carpet dresses that are eco-conscious. I think that globally people are really interested in what's going on in the fashion world and how it can actually contribute to a healthier environment.